Well, hey guys, I have got something really cool for you today, something really cool that I want to show you. Check this out. This is another Spencer 42. This is hull number 13, mine's hull number 7. This is Katrinka, and this is a really cool boat. Let me show you why. Why this Spencer is so cool, it's the only one to my understanding that has an aft cabin. The 44's had an aft cabin, but this 42 has an aft cabin. And that's really great. Let me show this to you. There's my buddy Sam on board here. Say hi to everybody, Sam.
How's it going, guys?
Sam owns Murky Water Marine Services in Tacoma. He came over here to check this out with us. And look at the lines of that Spencer. I mean, she's a little bit dirty. She's been sitting here for a little while, but you know how a boat is when it sits for a little while, they get a little bit dirty. But yeah, check that baby out. Now this is the same boat as mine. This is the same design, John Brandlmeyer. This thing came out of the same mold that my boat did, just a little bit later. She was, what, 5 boats after mine? I'm hull number 7, she's number 13, you do the math. I'm walking and talking, I'm not gonna do it. But what I have really noticed that I love about my boat, why someone should consider a Spencer, is this hard dodger. These things are great. Isn't that thing awesome out sailing, Alex? You sit behind it, you stay dry. It's just perfect. So yeah, we absolutely love the hard dodgers. This one has got one. It's also got the Alaska bulkhead. We have the one for our boat. This one's actually installed, so that's already there. Everything's ready to go up and on. It's actually sitting right here in the cockpit. One of the only downsides I do see, it does have variant winches. They are not self-tailers. So you would want to have self-tailing winches. That I do see. Here's another thing I want to show is this boat has the aluminum tow rails. These things, you know, the whole deck joint on these boats, it's not glued together, it's solid. This is molded in. And so, you know, this actually needs to have the gel coat on it touched up, but there's no joint in there. Everything is smushed together. And so that's the really good thing about these boats. They're solid. There's no coring material in that hull. They're about 1 inch thick. And that is really fantastic if you want to take one of these offshore. They are an extremely stout boat. There's a few things about this boat that are actually better than mine that I'm going to show you, and that is this. Boom. Right there. She has got an aluminum mast, and that's really great. That's the one thing that I wish my boat had. The mast is painted. It all looks to be in good condition. The hull on this thing is sound. I don't see any damage on it. I don't see anywhere it's been run into anything. It's all the original gel coat. It's a little bit faded. With just some time with a buffing wheel, this boat would buff out really nice.
This thing's really awesome here, dude. Check out this compass. You like it, look at that. That's spectacular. Got the glass looking in. This here, shine that up, make that look awesome.
There's all your wind instruments and everything over there. And this has the same set of hatches that mine does. Really well set up. I mean, it just needs, like it said, under here, just needs to be sanded and painted, everything, you know, in good shape. I don't see any real structural issues with this. I think this is the old controls for the engine right there. There's a control panel that's been mounted right there now. So that is a thing. That's probably the only thing that I don't like is I'd prefer to have the control right here on the side versus down here, but that's not a huge thing. You can pretty well do whatever you want with that. Got diesel tank fill over here. So this has a different tankage situation than what mine does. And then you have a water fill there. I think that, oh, that's a fuel fill there. So she's got more fuel than I do also. So this boat's actually set up better in a couple of ways than what I have. I'm assuming that's the septic, and that's probably the fresh water, or maybe one of these. So there, you know, she will need some cleanup. I mean, this is just kind of the deck hardware up on top. Ultimately, my verdict is if I was boat shopping today, knowing what I know now about the Spencers, this is a boat that I would consider. One of the only downsides I do see, it does have variant winches. They are not self-tailers. So you would want to have self-tailing winches. That I do see. All right, Sam's checking out the aft cabin here. What do you think, Sam? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. I actually haven't seen one set up like this. This is it's like your own little hideaway in the back here.
Yeah, or it'd be great too. You could lock the kids back here, and you know,
that's perfect.
keep them. You know, if they're starting to, hey, he's touching me, you can just lock them back here.
Yeah, we have electric outlets and all kinds of things back here. You can really make this comfortable.
Yeah, it just needs some finishing, pretty much, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's
easily made this stuff, huh?
Yeah. Now there is a hole here where the engine controls used to be. I have not asked him about the engine yet. I know there's some other gauges over here, so I need to find out about that. I mean, that is something that will have to be dealt with. Now, features inside, it does have this stove here. I'm assuming that's a diesel stove. Maybe it's wood, but probably diesel. And then back here, you do have a diesel burning stove for your main cooking. Storage over here. Mine's a little bit differently set up than that. And then you have the storage lockers and the counters, just like on mine. Storage there, and then the sink is over here. It does have a smaller sink. And then over here on this side, it does have the pilot berth. And that pilot berth there is a place that another person can sleep. So this boat can actually sleep about the same as what mine can, I think, because you could probably put 2 back here, and then you could put 1 right here, and then you could put 2 on this side, 2 on this side. So what is that? 2, 4, 6, or 2, 4, 6, 7. So you got 7 there, and then you have the bed forward. Now, what I found interesting about this bed forward is that it is a double bed up here, the way that's set up, and there's actually a space here. Can't really see it very well, and I've kind of got this camera tuned up for the light that it can see. There's still storage on the sides. There's a TV up there, chain lockers forward to that, and then it's just the bare insulation on the wall there. Vented door on the head. Let's see what's inside the head here. There is not a shower installed, but I'm going to be doing that on my boat so people can see how that'll work. And it's just like had the upholstery peeled off, and it's actually set up in a way that it has more room basically than what mine does, and I kind of like the way that this is set up. You got all these big drawers and everything here. Oh, you can't really see it. I'm gonna bump the ISO up. This isn't gonna look great, but you can see the head here. It does need something put on it to cover that up. It does have a newer head in here. It does not have the shower pan installed yet, but that would not be hard to do. And of course, she's just got the same closet like I do over here. And then it's got the big dinette. This would all clean up really nice. So for me, it's really neat to see the Spencer. This is the only other Spencer 42 that I've been on. And so I'm kind of stoked. I'm just taking it all in. I know how well my boat is built. I can't say to the condition of this boat. This is my first time being on it. But everything in here looks extremely familiar to me. And being a guy that likes to do a lot of projects, what I can see with this boat is most of what it needs is just elbow grease. It needs some sanding, it needs some painting, it needs some new surfaces put on things. And so for that, that's why I'm calling this video Katrinka Diamond in the Rough, because this boat is hole number 13 Katrinka. And I think that with just a bit of work, actually there's a couple of things with the way that this is laid out that I actually like better than my current boat. You have a little bit more space in the aisle here. That's nice. There's, what other things do I notice about this? You know, this here is kind of neat how this is all laid out. I mean, my boat's different in there. This has a little bit smaller cupboards up here, and then it's got, you know, the couch set up over there. I kind of like the way that that's done. So whoever had this in mind, whoever, you know, spec'd this boat out, really understood what they were doing. I think with a bit of work, I think that this boat could turn into a really, really awesome blue water machine. And so here's my thoughts with this. I know from my boat how well these boats sail. The other day we were out here coming across Commencement Bay. My boat, in about 20 knots of breeze with about an 80% jib on there in full main, was giving us about 8.3 knots. I mean, she was just flying. She's a beautifully handling, beautifully sailing boat, provided you're not going in reverse. Full keel boats are notorious for backing up like drunken old blind fat dogs, and these are no exception. They do have issues, you know, going backwards. If you really get some time in it, you know what you're doing on the boat, though. That's never been an issue for me. I've been able to get in and out of everywhere I need to be. They are a really fine sailing boat. They handle the waves extremely well. And so if someone is wanting to get their hands on a true blue water cruising boat, specifically looking for a project, don't buy this boat if you're not handy and you're not looking for a project. But if you're looking for a good start to a project, this boat is definitely it, because these things cleaned up and fixed up the way that I like to do them, the way that, you know, someone that's really handy can do, are a phenomenal sailing boat. And especially that aft cabin, I actually really like that feature. I kind of wish that I had it on mine, because it just gives you a little more privacy. You want to bring guests on board, you have a place to stick them, so it gives you just a little bit better sleeping arrangements, a little bit more well thought out. The only thing that you kind of lose with that arrangement is you don't have the lazarette that I do. I've got a nice big lazarette. That's where all my propane goes, and it's got its own little box in there that's vented outside, so I do like that feature of it. But I do like a lot of the way that this boat's put together, and something else could be figured out for your propane, or maybe you're going to an alcohol stove. This has got a diesel stove, so if you didn't want to run propane, not an issue. It's already set up for that. So definitely worth considering, definitely worth looking at. I will post all the broker's information here. We'll catch you guys later.